Weatherman tells us that it ain't gonna rain. Shots wet, in a silk suit trying not to sweat. Will this be the year that I won't forget? Well, I'm hoping this isn't the year that I don't forget. It's becoming quite a positive trend right now. Thrill's going in the right direction, so I'm hoping this year isn't one I forget. And as of now, it will be one that I definitely won't forget, man. We've been 13 weeks in, and I've loved every week we've had going on with you bunch of sons of bitches right there. I'm not going to lie. So it's been an awesome week. Definitely won't forget it. Awesome year. Won't forget it. Unless I miss the playoffs, I'm going to say, well, that year never happened. But we know that ain't going to be the case here today, boys. So, we're here. Thrills back in his hometown. Back in his, well, not hometown Indianapolis. But back in where he calls his abode now, Douglasville, Georgia. Done with the Jamaican cruise, done with the Cayman cruise. Me and B Green had a great time. When you're spending this much space away from someone the entire time, me and B Green, we were about that far apart. I'm going to let you guys figure out what we could fill that gap with. But we had a good time there. I'm glad to be back, and I'm glad to be back dealing with the fantasy world. Missed the chat room, missed all this shit talk going on between you gentlemen. Had a great time on the boat, but like I said, I'm glad to be back here. So let's talk about last week. Last week, I was 3-3. Picked myself correctly, picked Anthony Matthews Wakanda, and I believe I picked good old Charlie's Angels bought the dubs last week, and they really didn't let me down 3-3. So I'm pretty stoked about that. Haven't really paid much attention to the predictions this year as of now, but that is set to change. I got to tell you right now, Benson Harbor, commish your cup of joe versus the matchup preview show. I'm laying down the gauntlet. Your predictions versus my predictions from here on out. I say we settle this like men. Maybe the winner gets to pie the other one in the face. Maybe the other one gets to throw something, a water balloon filled with an unknown substance at the other. I don't know. Maybe you guys out there in the fantasy league can help give us some ideas. I'd really be intrigued. But right now, Benson, I got to say, my predictions are about to dominate your predictions from here on out. So you can keep track. I can keep track. We can have a third party keep track. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter! Because I'm going to win. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's hit with the matchup previews. As we get started, let's check out the whiteboard this week. Check out the who's hot, the who's not. Right now we've got Wakanda. Super hot right now. 5-game winning streak right now. And his team has looked very solid. His offense has been great. His pitching has been very solid. And Trader Will right on his tail. 3-game winning streak, demolishing opponents. And we hope that continues this week for his sake. On the who's not side of things, Trader Will's opponent this week, Al Avila, has actually lost 3 straight. Strokes Wood and Los Mexis are both 1-3 in their last 4, looking to reverse some trends. I know those gentlemen have to be seeking some vengeance this week. So that's the who's not, who's hot board. And let's go and jump into our predictions. And our first prediction, we're going to talk about both those teams over 1-3. Strokeswood and Los Mexis. They're playing each other this week. 1-3 in the past couple weeks here. And both teams are better than their record indicates. They both got some great offense, as evidenced by Strokeswood having 3 players batting over 300 in the last month. That you really got to have that to be productive and be successful in this league. So Stroke, your offense is doing great. You're pitching. It was phenomenal last week. If you didn't play in any other team, you would have won the majority of the pitching categories. But unfortunately, you're going against Trader Will. He won a bunch of the categories you should have won, and therefore, most weeks you would have been all right. Your offense was garbage last week, but your pitching really came through. Los Mexis, you've been up and down most of the season, but you've got 5 guys batting over 290. You're led right now by Reese Hoskins. You tried to trade him many times earlier this year. I bet you're glad you're not. He's been doing very well since he came off the DL with his busted jaw. I like his, if anybody's seen his batting helmet, he's got the double guard on there. You might as well just go ahead and put a full chin strap, baseball helmet, hockey goal on there. That'd be pretty tight if you ask me. If you ask me who's going to win this week, I got to say Strokeswood. Strokeswood, I think you're still a good team. You might have lost 3 of your last 4, but that's not an indictment on you. You've played some tough competition. I think you're bound to rebound this week, and I think Los Mexis is going to actually fall down. So Los Mexis, have another drink down at Moe's on me. Get a nice cold Duff beer from Duffman, and enjoy it, buddy, because you're not winning this week. All right, so let's move on to our next matchup. The matchup of gentlemen in Los Mexis division. We've got T-Ball, we've got Charlie's Angels. Charlie's Angels, winners of last week against B. Ryan Express, came on Sunday strong with 5 dingers, batting over 900, I think, with an OPS over 3,000. T-Ball comes in, not very, winners of just one of his last 4. Couple beat downs in the past couple weeks, but he did beat Los Mexis last week to kind of move up in the rankings. Get to 4 dubs, which is impressive for a rookie GM before the All-Star break. Right now, you've got 3 guys batting over 300 for you right now, but you've got 6 dudes batting under 230 for you, Canada. So if you can get some of those guys either off your team, maybe find pluck some dudes off waiver wire, that might help you out because you've got a couple guys, 6 guys just bringing you down each week right now over the past month. Charles Angels, on the other hand, you've only got 1 guy batting over 300, but you have nobody that's really crushing you. Everybody's batting about 250 for your team, which in this day and age we know is league average. So you're doing all right there. Maintaining the 2-2. You've got the power. Can you keep it going? You've got the division pretty much locked up if you can win a couple more weeks. And now you're just going to start trying to solidify playoff position down the stretch. All right, let's move to a couple more teams that are 2-2, just like Charlie's Angels over the past couple weeks, and that's Pup and Chuck Nasty. Chuck Nasty, I have been against you the past couple weeks saying your team is garbage, but you said, Trader Will, go ahead and shut your mouth. I'm going to put a hand on your knee and tell you that it's not the case. You're winning handily due to your offense. Your pitching hasn't really done anything for you. I saw Friday, or Sunday, excuse me, you had 3 different pitchers, and Clevenger was the best of the bunch. If you can find some more offense, pitching, because your offense has been fine. You got 5 dudes batting over 300 in the last month and only 3 dudes batting under 200. Keep those positive trends going. Your offense is A-OK. You've got A.J. Pollock back. You've got Goldie. Your outfield is Mookie, A.J., Haniger, Scooter. Those are 4 great offensive weapons you've got right there. If you want to trade them for some pitching, it might be in your best recommendation. Pup, you were down. You were 8th place in the league. You were 30 in your division 2 weeks ago. Now you've catapulted yourself right back up to 1st place in your division, in your division. And I think you're going to keep going with that. You've B. Ryan Express, Long Ballers, they're going to be battling each other this week, so I don't see any of them overtaking you for 1st place. But I also don't see you winning this week. Chuck Nasty, I've picked against you 2 weeks in a row. I've kind of learned my lesson on that note. So I got to say, Chuck Nasty, you are going to pull out the dub this week. Your offense is going to be great. Your pitching is going to be just good enough to get by Pup and his Ozzy Albies, Ronald Acuna-led team. So, Chuck Nasty, I think you're getting ready to go to 500 on the season and be real happy about that. All right, next up, we've got B. Ryan Express. We've got Long Ballers. Now, B. Ryan Express and Long Ballers, 2 teams in the same division, just kind of going back and forth. The whole world is watching when these 2 teams play, because B. Ryan, he's going to be running his mouth on the message board. Ramar's going to be quiet unless he's at a soccer match cheering on the Atlanta United. 2-2 in the last 4 weeks for Rymar. 2-2 in the last 4 weeks for B. Ryan. B. Ryan, 4 dudes batting over 290, led by Jesus Aguilar coming out of nowhere, leading the league in home runs. Nomar Mazar doing things for you. Long Ballers, on the other hand, got 5 guys batting over 300 in the past month. That's what's keeping his team back up from the dreadful 0-5 start. Long Ballers, I think you can keep your playoff aspirations alive. B. Ryan, I think you're going to go down 2 in another week this week, and I think Long Ballers picks up a dub, gets to 500 on the season, and 3-2 in his last 5 weeks. So Long Ballers, you're picking up the dub this week. You've got some great offense. Your pitching is led by Cookie Carrasco and this dude named Chris Sale, who are better than B. Green's Ace Verlander, who's kind of hit the down spot of the season. And I couldn't even tell you who B. Ryan's 2nd best pitcher is on his team right now. So Long Ballers, I think your offense is better than B. Ryan's. I think your pitching is better, which is an antidote for a victory. So Long Ballers, you've got the dub this week. Good job for you. Next up, we've got Trader Will and Alavila. Trader Will, winners of 3 straight, demolishing his opponents. Alavila, losers of 3 straight, all close encounters. All went down to Sunday Funday, as he likes to call it. And by Sunday Funday, he means Sunday shit out. His team has been dreadful on the weekends, but Monday through Friday, they've been phenomenal. They've been led by Javi Baez, waiver wire gem Jose Martinez, and RBI leader of the National League. Anybody out there? It's not Nolan Arenado. It's not Anthony Rizzo. It's not Bryce Harper. It is Eugenio Suarez of the Cincinnati Reds. Savdog, you were right to have faith in him this year. He's not let you down. So you've got some good offensive weapons. If your pitching can do anything, hence a theme that you've heard over and over again in these videos week after week, the pitching this season has been dreadful in the majors. You might be able to do something against Trader Will, who's got 6 guys batting over 300 in the last month. 5 if you count Jesse Winker, who's just been dropped by his team. And only 1 dude batting under 240. So that might explain why his team's had some success recently. And I expect that success to continue on this week. Trader Will picking up a dub. Hopefully 4 in a row for him. 4 in a row losing streak for Alavila, whose second half swoon is not a fictitious thing at this point in time. It's been a trend that we've seen if he loses this week. All right, so our last matchup brings us to the first place team and the second place team. And we're calling this the So Fresh, So Clean matchup because it's 1 versus 2. It's Wakanda. It's Kananga. It's 2 cool names to say. Both those teams are playing so fresh and so clean right now. Anthony Matthews' winner is of 5 straight games. His offense, Nolan Arenado, as I mentioned previously, doing work for him. If you can rock Nolan Arenado on your team, you're going to be doing all right. It doesn't matter who you surround him with. And Anthony, he's surrounded with some guys like Jose Peraza, who's actually been doing something recently. Would never have expected that. Let's see, who else is doing work for Wakanda? You got to think about Derek Dietrich, a guy that we mocked earlier this year. He's doing work for Wakanda. So I like what he's got going on. Is it going to be enough to knock off the number 1 team in the league, Benson Harbor? Start out the year real high, but he's kind of, just been treading water recently. He's got four losses on the year, and most of them have occurred recently, even though he has 3-1 in last month. So I guess going back a couple weeks, he had some struggles. Wakanda, though, you had 5 players batting over 300 last month. Benson Harbor, the commission, has 9. 9 gentlemen are batting over 290 over the past month for this guy. That's telling you why his team is great. It's not just a Mike Trout-led team. He's got everybody chipping in. It doesn't matter if he's picking him up off the waivers. It doesn't matter if he drafted him. Benson Harbor has had a touch this year with his offensive players, and it's not even being wasted. DeGrom and Kluber are doing work for him as well, and the pitching staff. But it's not enough this week, as Wakanda is going to win. It doesn't. Max Scherzer already pitched tonight. He's going to get a double dose of Scherzer dog against Kananga, and Wakanda's going to win. That's all there is to it. Wakanda, I think you're going to go to 6-0 in your past 6 weeks, and that's not good news for the rest of the league. That will put you in, if I'm not mistaken, first place in the entire league here, in the Alexander Frederick Harbor League. So that's the first time you'll ever be able to say you've been in first place in a non-Kroger league. So kudos to you if you win this week. All right, that's going to do it for the preview show, for the preview portion of the show. Now we're going to talk about our top 5. Last week we talked about the top 5 chat room people, the levels of chatitude, where we had 5, where was the silence. 4, little murmur in the background. 3, the people that are, you're posting, you're making a quality point, I appreciate that. 2, the people are like, oh my god, all right, let me silence this for now. I'll get the notifications later. It's keeping me awake. And you've got the number 1, the I can't believe you don't shut up, people. Why don't you shut up your mouth? As Apu might say. But I didn't really call anybody out and say what level they're in. I decided to save that for this week. So 5th, the bottom level, the people that do not talk on the message board are whose thoughts are scant and few. Gainesville Steve, who elects to do his chatting and responding on the message board, and Davis Harbor, who elects to do his chatting and posting, well, nowhere really. He verbalizes things, I suppose, to Benson Harbor when he sees him. But aside from that, Davis Harbor's baseball thoughts are locked entirely inside of his brain right now at this point in time. Not sharing much there. Number 4, the guys that are, they have a murmur here and there. And that's Rymart and Jaycock. When Jaycock's on there, he's tripping a few back mostly. We all get a good chuckle out of that. And when Rymart's on there, he's usually at a game or a Atlanta United soccer match, if you will, or possibly exciting some sort of anger for forgetting to play an offensive player who might have helped him win a certain week or not. I don't know. But that's when you get some Rymart going on. Number 3, the guys that when they're posting something, you're like, okay, I haven't heard from him. That's pretty good stuff. I appreciate that. And that's Billy Baseball, Kamish Goodell, and Cody Nobes. Those guys are not overly posting, not underly posting, but when they post, you're like, okay, I appreciate that. That's some good stuff. That's some knowledge that I don't hate reading. Number 2, the people that make you kind of want to shut your phone on silence for a while. Anthony and Trader Will. When those guys get going, they don't shut up. Like, they can just keep a conversation going by themselves, with themselves. They can antagonize with the best of them and really get the room going. And then lastly, the guys at the top who really keep the message board going, who don't shut up, who keep the liveliness going 24/7. Savdog, B Green, Sneed. Those guys, when they're posting, I'm looking at it, but at some point in time, I'm like, all right, I gotta shut this down. I gotta do some work. I gotta do something. This is getting me so off task. So those guys, we appreciate you keeping the message board alive. I'm not gonna lie, but you are at the top of the talkative list right there. So that's my top 5 for this week. Josh Donaldson, athletics, representing here today. Back when he could actually play before a strained calf, strained shoulder, strained dingle really took him out of action for everybody, and his wallet as well. Going to be a free agent after this year, and that's going to hurt him there. So that's going to do it for the show. If you guys have any ideas in terms of what Benson and I can wager on our predictions for the remainder of the year, let us know. I look forward to seeing people Saturday at the GM meetings at mi casa. Pool is open. Yard is clean. I'm ready to play some home run derby. Jaycock, we've already got a battle going on. So I will see you guys Saturday, and you'll see my face again for those that don't come Monday. Take it easy.